Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to episode 44 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports, the Katie Williams edition. He was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Remember when they said his name on the PA? KD. Remember that?
Williams!
There you go. Bob McGregor. Shout out to you on Twitter. He's an awesome guy. Follow him on Twitter. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We appreciate all your support in helping the channel grow. Give us a like. Leave a comment. Benny, where can they find us in the social media world, brother?
You can find us, Ray Benny Sports. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And don't forget about our contest for those free Bomber tickets for the upcoming game on Friday. Don't
forget to enter. You got to be a follower.
Yeah. Ooh, don't forget that part. That's a crucial part.
You have to be a follower, because if you're not a follower, you ain't going to get them tickets.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll give them to you. We'll spin the wheel again until it lands on someone we know. Yeah, we got some NHL talk to get into, but before that, let's catch up on the CFL. The Bombers proved both of us wrong. Thank goodness. They look so good in that game.
Oh God, all phases, man. All phases. Impressive victory, and yeah, they shut us up, and they shut up most. Except for the one guy. What was the one guy who picked them to win on CFL.ca?
He was second in the order, and he got it right with the W.
Yeah.
That was one wicked. Like, off the first play of the game, it was like, oh, my goodness. What we've been waiting for the past couple of games happened, and they just didn't take their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, we talked about it. We just talked about last episode how Janarin Grant's been close, and it'll be good to see him finally take one back. And then he took two back in that game. You know, a little bit of a penalty on the one. I don't know if it would have affected the play much, but you know what? It was a big play, especially coming off that short week. They needed that boost right away, you know, and it definitely helped them out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they look like a team that they have in the past. Like, Bomber fans can't tell me they've looked like the Bombers in the first 4 weeks of the season before this game. You know, they squeaked by some. They got a lucky missed convert against Toronto. So it was pretty close, but this was a statement game, yeah?
This was because you had BC. All the hype was BC, right?
Yeah.
You know, teams were picking BC. Some people were putting BC at the top of the power rankings. So there was a lot, and you know what? The biggest thing for me was a short week, right? Yeah,
that was a huge
if it was a regular
me.
week, I would have probably picked the Bombers, no problem. It was Saturday to Saturday game, but that short week, you know, worried us all. And then the way they ended the game against Toronto, you think, okay, you know, they're still a good team, obviously, but this might be the week where they fall. And man, you know, besides the deep balls that they got beat on, they're a pretty impressive team all around.
Yeah, they step up when they need to. You know what I mean?
And like that vanilla offense comment by Sales.
He should know better. He should know better than to. Why give them bulletin board material?
Yeah, man. I mean, Collaros was amazing, man. His scrambling away the one pass where he was falling. You know,
sidearmed almost.
Patrick Mahomes, who? You know, Zach Collaros is here.
We were talking about like how he's not as mobile as he used to be, and then all of a sudden, whoop, it's like we're 77% passing.
Yeah, his escapability amazes me sometimes because he looks like the slowest dude out there.
Yeah,
but the fact that he gets away from some of these guys, it kind of reminds you that hey, he still has that mobility. But sometimes when you're watching him going, oh, he's sacked, and then you're like, ooh, wow, he got away. Yeah, and he got that throw off, and you know. Dalton Schoen, another one.
How about your boy Dalton Schoen?
Yeah,
player
right
of the week,
man.
8 for 117, 2 touchdowns. We talked about that last week as well. Why don't they go deep to Schoen more and open up the field? And that sure helped.
Oh, it was big, man. And him being able to get open. The one touchdown, you know, it was about a 20-yarder where he's running across the back of the end zone and Collaros got away, scrambling. Like, It's great because the guy he knows, and it's not like he's ever played in that big of an end zone before, right? But he's already learned, you know, don't stop. You got lots of room.
Absolutely.
Keep it going in the CFL, and the play's not dead until that ball's out of bounds or dropped or whatever, man. But he just has that instinct of knowing where to go.
Yeah, and they're week by week they're getting better, but this was a huge step for those two in regards to chemistry that they have in the field. Like, Ellingson was also great, don't get me wrong, but it was great to see Schoen pick up. And he probably picked up some of the receptions that Nick Dembski would have gotten.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's filled in pretty well for anything that Dembski was supposed to do right now in the lineup.
Yeah.
And Ellingson, man, what a great signing that's turned out to be.
For sure. The veteran put the ball up. He's going to bring it in. Big body receiver.
A big dude, man. Yeah. And it was one of those it's almost an underrated signing because it didn't get much fanfare. And a lot of people were like thinking, well, Ellingson's, he didn't look great last year. He's on the downside. Yeah. He was on the downside of his career. Like, big deal. We'll see what he can do. But man, he's been fantastic, as that possession receiver and making those big catches still too downfield.
Absolutely.
So the offense that we've been waiting to see finally showed up against BC.
Yeah.
Buck Pierce called a great game.
The running game looked there.
Yeah. Zach Claros and the offense executed well. Run game, Johnny Augustine got most of the carries.
Yeah.
Oliveira had a better average.
Still a committee.
Yeah, but it's still a committee. And even with that McRae guy also in there involved, and he had 3 good runs as well. So,
we have
any way to get it going.
We have this listener. Great question, by the way, if any Bomber fans want to put in on this. You don't see the number 11 being used in the Bombers. You don't see 63, Kenny playing Chris Walby. And you're just wondering, why is 29, the Lincoln locomotive, Leo Lewis, not kind of tucked away? One of the greatest Bombers ever. One of the greatest returners in CFL ever. Bud Grant said he was the best football player he's ever coached.
Yeah.
Something to consider.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Something to consider. Can I ask you a favor, bro?
Yep.
Never talk about the kicker again. Don't. You gave him props last week. Don't talk about the kicker again.
All right. We're done talking.
I think Lencioni needs to sneak under the radar, man. Because I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I'll give that a nod. He didn't have the greatest week.
No, I mean, he was 3 for 3 before the missed convert and then the missed 2 field goals. It's like, I was sitting there watching the game going, well, I shouldn't have talked about the kicker.
Ray's going to say something.
Yeah.
That mofo Ray's going to say something.
Yeah.
But I'm joking. Like, I still have confidence in Leju. I think he'll come back next week in a huge game against Calgary, which we'll come to and we'll probably talk about in the power rankings. Are we good to move on to the power rankings?
Yeah. It doesn't get any easier coming up for the Bombers. Or maybe it does. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Let's start from the bottom and move our way to the top. Who do you got number 9 in the CFL Power Rankings?
I'm going to have to keep my 9 the same. I'll have to keep Hamilton. They're on the bye. They got Ottawa coming up, but I couldn't move them up this week, even though my number 8 team got smashed. So,
yeah. I'm going to go number 9, Ottawa, because they've lost their starting quarterback, and we will talk about why they lost their starting quarterback in a second. BS. So with them having Arbuckle, I think they're not a threat to anyone. I think they're in trouble. So they're the bottom of the heap for me. Who do you got at 8?
I'm still keeping Edmonton there. They lost their starting quarterback, Trey Ford, as well. He's out for a couple of weeks. Ugly 49-6 loss against Calgary.
Oh, who picked Edmonton last week? Sometimes I like drama, right? Sometimes I like drama.
It was close for a bit. It was tied 3-3, I think, in the second quarter or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, this is going really well.
Yeah, so I got to keep Edmonton there. Chris Jones and his D's just not getting it done.
Yeah,
the offense now they're turning to Cornelius.
Yeah,
as their starting quarterback, I guess. So it's not going to get any better for them.
Our power rankings at the bottom are going to be nice and shuffled, I think. At number 8, I got Hamilton. With Mazzoli being hurt, I think they can beat Ottawa, but I think that's the only team they're better in the CFL. So I'm going to take Ottawa at 8. And number 7, I have Montreal. What a stupid idea it was to fire Kahari. He's not going to play Adams, right? He's playing Trevor Harris again?
Yeah, I believe right now Trevor Harris is on tap to start.
Why is Matt Chiocha running a team? He's overseen 1 winning season, and he's been to 0 Grey Cups as a football executive / operations. It doesn't make sense to me, so I'm still upset about that. So I have them at 7.
I can still picture him celebrating the Grey Cup victory before it was a victory.
Wow.
The game wasn't even over yet. Yeah. And he was celebrating. I still love that.
If he didn't have Ricky Ray, he wouldn't have a championship.
Oh, God.
But you know what?
Yeah.
To give Machocha props, he did pull Ricky Ray from the West semifinal that year and the West final to play Jason Moss, and they won both games. So that's the only brilliance of Machocha.
Yeah, but Jason Moss was also a decent quarterback as well. So
he had a huge year when Ricky Ray was at the Jets.
Yeah. So,
Montreal, number 7 for me.
Right? It's pretty low. It's pretty low for them. I still got, who do I got? Ottawa at number 7.
Yeah.
I'll give them a little bit, losing Arbuckle, losing Mazzoli, trading for Arbuckle. I don't even know if Arbuckle's going to start this week or not, if he'll be ready. Lapo still hasn't figured shit out. I don't see him lasting very long in that job if it continues to go this way.
Yeah.
The offense was still terrible even before Mazzoli got hurt. They had no rhythm. They got the one touchdown at the beginning of the third quarter, and then
they weren't using power a lot.
Yeah, Mazzoli was there until 5 minutes left in the game, and he still couldn't generate much with him. So
yeah,
and the D is, D's giving up 6.6 yards per play. So, but for now, I got them at 7. We'll see what happens this week against the other winless team in Hamilton.
How about 6?
I got Toronto still sitting there.
Okay.
Just after another bye week, Saskatchewan this week in where are they? Atlantic. Where are they playing exactly? Halifax?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so be an interesting game. Who do you got at 6?
I got Edmonton. They got smoked, but I kind of like Cornelius. He's a bigger quarterback, but still mobile. He has a good arm. Didn't have great numbers. He went like 9 picks, 13 touchdowns in whatever games, how many games he's played. But I think they're better than Montreal, but not as good as Toronto, who I have at 5. They've had a week to really stew in that loss and maybe really work on the running game to set up the passing game to take some pressure off of 3 last names. McLeod, Bethel, Thompson. Why aren't they playing? They really should have taken this week to play, what's his name? Chad Kelly. I think they should have put him in because anyways, Toronto 5.
Well, I got Montreal at 5. But going back to Toronto, I think if McLeod Bethel Thompson did not have the second half that he did against the Bombers, then I could have saw them pulling him in that game and going Chad Kelly and then probably turning to Chad Kelly at this point.
Good point, brother. Yeah, he saved his job with that second half. Absolutely.
He did. He looked good. He still, he threw another interception that didn't, flipped into a touchdown somehow, but we're behind. That's behind us now.
Yeah, but he's always had great second halves, like comparatively to his first half. It takes him a really long time to warm that motor. He needs to go to half. Anyways.
But he still has his brain farts, right? He could be chucking 400 yards, 4 TDs, and then all of a sudden he'll chuck 2 or 3 interceptions after that. It's just like
in double coverage.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man! Like you were having a wicked game and you're doing that now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens against Saskatchewan if he survives that game or not. But
speaking of Saskatchewan, I got them at 4.
I put BC at 4.
Solid defense. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't
back down
that.
to earth a little bit.
I have BC at 3, and I think they get that good week off they need to recollect and fix those mistakes. Rourke didn't look great. No touchdowns, 2 picks. Oh no, 1 touchdown, 2. I can't remember.
No, 2. No, he ended up with 3 touchdowns.
Is it 3 touchdowns, 2 picks?
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. He had. They're all bombs though, right?
Yeah, but he didn't.
And that's where most of his yardage came from.
He wasn't shaken though. Like he came back out there, he came back out there, and he sounded like a veteran quarterback. So there's hope in BC. They lost to a very good team.
Yeah, you know what? Bombers showed them some different coverages, showed them some stuff he hadn't seen before. Like even the Jeff Code interception early in that game. I was amazed by that play altogether, watching Jeff Code drop back at the last second into coverage there and pick that ball off. So there was a lot of different things and new things for Rourke to see. So I think he'll bounce back. But most of his yards were on those 3 touchdowns. There were a couple of them were bombs down the field, and that just showed how impressive BC's offense can be, right? Because the Bombers were up 21-0 at the time, or 24-0 at the time, and when they scored that first touchdown, and then all of a sudden it was 24-14, but the Bombers drove down again and got that field goal and kind of righted the ship a bit again. But BC showed that, hey, they're not down and out if the score is 21-0 with that offense. But
a couple of those defense couldn't help them. Was like, okay, that's good protection. That's a lot of time, breakdown and coverage. You can't cover a guy that long.
No.
But it also shows, hey, maybe we miss Brandon Alexander now on those. I'm watching him patrol the middle of the field. And I can't wait till he comes back. That defense is going to be so much better.
Yeah, I have that here too, man. Those long balls, and then some of them, Nick Taylor had good coverage, and they were just amazing catches.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, Brandon Alexander brings that different. It brings that little bit of a fear in the receivers' minds that they have to worry about where he is, right?
Yeah.
So you can't wait to have him back. I mean, you're sitting 5-0, and you're missing one of your best players like that. It's a good problem to kind of have right now, but I still can't wait for him to be back.
Yeah, we got the same two teams up top, obviously, which means another great, it wasn't Friday Night Football last time, but another great matchup for the Bombers with the top two teams in our power rankings. I have Calgary 2, Winnipeg 1 for this Friday Night Football on Friday.
Yeah. Exactly the same for me.
Yeah.
Calgary 2, Winnipeg 1. Calgary have looked impressive.
Quietly. People aren't hyped on Calgary yet.
Well, you look at, they beat Edmonton twice. They had that comeback against Hamilton, a comeback against Montreal. So they haven't played.
No.
Hey?
They haven't played many good teams, bro.
No. And you can look at Winnipeg and go, okay, well, the first team they beat was BC with a winning record. They beat Ottawa, they beat Toronto and Hamilton, right? That's one win
good test
out of those. So it's another good test for the Bombers. A+ last week. Let's see what they can do this week.
Yeah.
It'll be a good matchup for Calgary to see where they're really at as well. And if Bo Levi is actually back.
Yeah.
You're playing that tough D. You got Willie again. We haven't even talked about him, but Willie Jefferson last game was amazing. He wrecked that game.
Man,
he was all over. And that's what we've been waiting for from Jefferson too this season. And he wrecked that game. He wrecked it for Rourke quite a bit.
My worries about Calgary is that depth in receiving, and Bo Levi Mitchell takes what you give him.
Yeah.
And Dave Dickinson's a smart coach.
Yeah.
So the Bombers somehow leave the middle of the field open sometimes with a lot of space. They give their receivers a lot of, space between coverage, bend but don't break. So it'll be a chess game. Will be. Hall. And is Dave Dickinson the OC in Calgary?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, then. Before we move on to Week 6 predictions, let's talk about this clown in Saskatchewan. I'm not going to say his bloody name, man, because he's an idiot. Do you want to go first on this fool?
Yeah, I guess. The play is obviously, we'll say his name here one time. Garrett Marino, low hit on Mazzoli, taking Mazzoli out, hurting Mazzoli. But it's not even really the hit necessarily. It's the actions before, really, and after. He ended up only with a 4-game suspension.
Stupid.
But that was a combination of the hit, racist comments, and I think there was one other thing that he was suspended for here.
Even worse, stupid.
So, but to me, yeah, you got the racist comments that were apparently happening as well before the hit even happened.
Yeah.
Disgusting hit, disgusting display afterwards.
Yeah. Saskatchewan fans, you were cheering. Some of you were cheering him. So stop with that BS online.
That's what I'll say too. The Saskatchewan fans, the ones that you have to be disgusted with yourself at this point. When he is off the field celebrating,
boo him.
You can see at that point that Mazzoli is hurt on the field.
Boo him.
Boo the guy, especially who celebrates at that helmet in their hand. Like he's celebrating like he made the game-winning play. No, dude, you just hurt a player on the field. And at this point, no one really knew about the racist comments. But you hit him low. He knew he hit him low. You could tell Mazzoli was hurt instantly.
Yeah, he hurt his bone.
Yeah. So at that point, man, come on, man. The whole display of it all was disgusting.
He has done this multiple times. He has hit a lineman, an offensive lineman he tackled at his ankles when they were playing Ottawa, I believe it was. This guy has a history. And he is an absolute clown. There's no need for that. And I get it. The CFL with their suspension 2-1-1. You can only do so much with the CBA. Fine. You know what, Saskatchewan organization? Have some balls and cut the guy. Isn't it crazy that commissioner, I don't even want to say his name, he kicks out Johnny Manziel probably because he was going to a casino in Montreal or because he, broke his terms of whatever personal conduct. And then last year, this guy throws the guy out of the league for false COVID documents. Both bad things, fine. But you keep a guy in the league who says blatantly racist things on the field? What kind of leadership is that, man? That's trash.
And it's trash from a Saskatchewan standpoint as well. Craig Dickenson with his comments today, or was it yesterday? Whenever he made these comments, like, dude, you're so out of touch yourself.
Yeah.
With these, and it's an embarrassment to the league, and the way they've handled it's embarrassment with Saskatchewan fans, with the Saskatchewan coach, all embarrassments, man. And it should start from Saskatchewan. Really, it shouldn't go any higher. Saskatchewan should see themselves. Okay, this is not good. Like, I can't remember who it might have been, Bob Irving or someone else had put something on Twitter. Instead of talking about Winnipeg beating BC the way it happened, everyone's focusing on this Marino guy instead. You know, and it's not good for the league. Instead of celebrating something, you have to focus on this idiot who did this kind of garbage in a game.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still allowed to come back, even though Mazzoli is gone for 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. Diversity is strength, y'all. Diversity is fucking strength, y'all.
Yeah. Terrible.
Like, CFL, you better address this. Like, that is a joke. This is a minor league, bush league joke. And again, Randy Ambrosi. Winnipegger my ass. Like, this league, what a joke that is.
Yeah, not good for the league, especially with the racist comments. Like, if this has actually happened on the field and players have heard it, players have attested to it, I mean, it's there, you know. And if there's other Saskatchewan players that have heard the any racist comment as well, step up, man, yourselves. You know, it's an embarrassment.
And again, I'm going to say it again, Craig Dickenson, the coach, a leader of the team, saying, oh, you know, his best friend's African-American. He's engaged to an African-American. He can't be... So you telling me if someone's married to a woman and he has daughters that he can't be sexist? Is that what you're telling me?
Nah, that's apparently what it is.
What a clown that guy is. Craig Dickenson. Sorry, Saskatchewan. You also got some bad apples in that joint. Let's move on to these Week 6 games. No, I got that off my chest. Oh, it felt good. Felt good. Let's look at the Thursday night game. Montreal, Edmonton. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. Who do you got in this game?
Should be a barn burner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. You know what? They're at home. I'm gonna go with the Owls. I just don't like what Edmonton's doing on their roster. The turnover. Now you got Cornelius starting. The guy hasn't really played, I don't think, yet this year. He wasn't even in the lineup last week. I think he's been injured. So I don't know how he's going to do.
Yeah.
On the Owls side, I guess Anthony Kilville, like he talked about earlier or last week, is the new player caller. So we'll see what kind of offense he can run. But I'm going to have to give the edge to the Owls.
I'm going to take Edmonton then for the drama. No, I'm going to take Edmonton. I just think they're in a little better situation in regards to the stability in the coaching room. So I'll take them in Montreal. And just also because I'm cheering against Machocha a bit. Yeah, I'm bitter.
Yeah, I don't want to see that guy have success either, but
I'm bitter.
I don't know. I don't know if Chris Jones has gotten it together yet.
Oh, goodness. Stamps, Bombers, Friday night football. I'm going to take home cooking. I'm going to take the momentum after the big win. And I'm not going to pick against my Bombers this week. I will pick against them another week. Don't get me wrong. But this week I will not. Boost of confidence. They're going to take it at home.
Yeah, I'm going to pick them as well. And especially coming off that impressive victory last week against BC, who had all the hype and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you're at home. And hopefully it's a full crowd, 30,000 plus in there. It'll be an interesting battle, like we had talked about earlier. Bo Levi takes what you give him. So if the Bombers are giving him the underneath stuff, they'll take that. But we've seen the Bombers be susceptible to long ball, and Malik Henry has been having a pretty wicked season there in Calgary. So
huge.
They'll see him a lot. And that D's going to get tested by that Calgary run game as well. So, but Bombers come out on top, I believe. If we can keep our running game going, even if it's by committee, you got to keep Calgary back on their toes a little bit.
I'm not scared of Kadeem Carey. This is the showdown of the week, friends and neighbors. And if you want free tickets, this show is going to be released on Wednesday. You have all day today to go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, follow, like, share. Those are your ways to enter for free tickets to the showdown of this week, Friday Night Football. Saturday game, the matinee, Rough Riders, Argos. Who you got?
I'm going Toronto.
Tirana?
because Saskatchewan is traveling a pretty good distance to get to Halifax to play this game. Toronto had their bye last week, so they had a lot of rest. But for them to win, McLeod Bethel Thompson has to be the guy of the second half against the Bombers, obviously.
Yeah.
Andrew Harris has to bring the same intensity that he brought against the Bombers against Saskatchewan. And we've seen him play in Winnipeg against Saskatchewan. He brings it every time he plays Saskatchewan. So if he can bring it again, they got a pretty good chance. The Riders D has been great at sacking, but they've also given up 270 yards passing per game. So they're susceptible there. And Cody Fajardo still isn't totally healthy. So, maybe Toronto's D can bring some pressure on him, but I'm going to go with Toronto in the slight victory here again.
Yeah, I got the Argos at home. I got them stewing over the one they let get away, and I have them solidifying that running game during the bye week to set up the pass. Ottawa, Hamilton. I got Hamilton. I think the bye week will do them good, and I think not having Mazzoli and this new quarterback and who knows what's going to happen is not good for Ottawa. So I'm taking Hamilton. Who you got?
Hamilton as well, man. They got the bye week. Hopefully Dane Evans has figured out what the heck not to do anymore. Don Jackson may be back for them as well. I don't have faith in Lapo turning this thing around for Ottawa.
Not yet.
Especially now with a new QB in Arbuckle. If he plays, is he ready?
No, this season's a wash. He's kind of screwed.
The thing is, again, you got one win and you're tied for first.
Yeah.
He doesn't
have his prime quarterback. It's not looking good for Lapo, man. It's not looking good for Lapo.
No.
Friends and neighbors, don't forget to leave your predictions in the comments section. We want to see who you pick this week. NHL. We're going to talk about NHL.
Free agency opens up tomorrow. We just had a draft as well, right?
Goodness gracious. What's going on in free agency?
You know what? Goudreau's gone from Calgary.
Yep.
So he'll be out on the market. Just saw now, though, that Evgeny Malkin re-signed back in Pittsburgh, so he's back there.
Yeah.
So I was interested to see if he would end up anywhere else than Pittsburgh.
I didn't think so.
That would have been crazy to see. So
how about the Jets? What's going on? You think anything's going to happen? I don't think so.
I had, I had them hopefully signing Malkin.
How much
Andrew
money will they have
out there?
How much money will they have left? Yeah, I guess so. So is Corey Schneider. You want to go back? How much money are they going to have left after they have to tender Mason Appleton?
All those guys, all those RFAs and Dubois, even if he takes that contract, it's at least $6 million. So they'd have about 7.35 left over after signing all those RFAs. So
how much is Dubois getting?
Dubois will probably come in, depending on, unless he signs for less, but he could get at least 6 with his RFA, somewhere around 6 or just over 6. You think
what, Appleton will get 3?
I think somewhere I saw today was maybe 2.
So
around 2, just over 2.
So that's 8. And Harkins, they'll re-sign Harkins' RFA. What do you think he'll get?
I mean, he probably won't get much, maybe $1 million, just over that or just under that, somewhere around there.
So that's $10 million or so, and they're at currently $16 million in cap space, so that leaves them with $6 million with Blake Wheeler on the books.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. You might be able to get rid of Blake, but you're probably eating half his contract anyway. Yeah. So they may have 10 to 12 million to play with.
Who do you think they'll get? Who do you think they'll move for?
You know what? I don't. That's the thing. When I was looking at it today, I'm like, okay, well, if you get rid of Wheeler, you have to fill in a spot there in the top 6. That's assuming Perfetti is with Dubois and Connor. Right. And you got Scheifele and Ehlers. Who's the winger on that line? I don't think there's anyone in the pipeline that can fill up that spot. So you have to maybe find a top 6 guy. But they also need some bottom 6. The guys I was kind of interested in there's a couple Strome brothers out there, Dylan or Ryan Strome.
Yep.
Ryan's a center. I don't think Dylan is, but but they're both around the 20 goal mark.
Uh-huh.
So maybe one of those guys. I would much rather prefer those guys probably on your third line.
For sure, Dylan Strome on the third line. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a crunch, one of them could be your top guy, top line or second line kind of guy, but I don't know who else they can really afford out there that's gonna fill in that top 6 role. Mason Marchman was another one that interests me as well from Florida. He had a pretty good season, but I don't think he's ready to be either a top 6 guy there either. It looks like Svechnikov's probably gone. Stasny's probably gone.
Yeah.
Kopp's probably not coming back.
No.
They still need a backup goalie because Comrie's probably going to get paid by somebody.
Yeah.
So that also you may be in around the $1 million range for that backup goalie as well.
So $1 million range, that leaves them nothing. Might as well call the guy up. What's his name? The Russian guy. Yeah, might as well call him up. Yeah, might as well call him up if you're going to pay a goalie $1 million.
You might have to, unless there's someone you can find for $7 million, because even with Comrie, you're not getting him for under $1 million anyways. At this point, right? He'll probably
fetch 2. I think he'd fetch 2 on the market, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he can make some decent going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they could fill in that one of the top 6 guys if Wheeler is gone. But Wheeler's obviously still here, so it's kind of hard to find that guy with Wheeler still here, unless you're going to pay someone $6 million out of your $7 million left over or whatever for one guy. So I can't see Winnipeg doing much, if anything, tomorrow.
No, they're going to be late players, if players at all.
Rumbling around in that bargain basement bin, looking Kmart Blue Light Special, looking for that guy.
Go get Cody Eakin, baby. Go get Cody Eakin, baby.
No.
Benny, who's your brickhead of the week?
Well, if it wasn't obvious before, who we're going to pick, I'm going back to the Saskatchewan dude, Garrett Marino here, my brickhead of the week for your garbage display this week.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision on that one.
Oh, for sure. He's a fuckface, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of here. Let's give shout outs. I'm going to give a shout out. Congrats to Cindy Clausen. She got a Walk of Fame in Toronto, a star on the Walk of Fame in Toronto in 2019. And recently there was a ceremony that will put a plaque commemorating that event at the Gateway Community Center. So go check out the Gateway Community Center whenever that plaque is up in the neighborhood. So shout out to Cindy Clausen on getting her hometown star ceremony to bring the plaque to Winnipeg.
Right on.
One of the most decorated 6-time medalist.
Yeah.
Imagine getting 6, and she won in the summer and the winter, right? Cycling and speed skating?
Was she cycling?
Or was that someone else?
That's Clara Hughes, the cyclist, right?
That's Clara Hughes. Oh, yes. And why doesn't she have a star on the Walk of Fame?
Maybe it's coming too.
She's took a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay, at least I got that fact right. Benny, you got anything to say to the people?
You know what? Thanks a lot for listening. Don't forget to enter the contest. And you know what? Have a good week.
Yeah. And in the famous words of talk about Olympians. Mark Spitz. He's a great swimmer, I believe, right? Or diver.
Yes.
Oh, my facts are so screwed. If you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail. Be kind. Be safe. Help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.